Yeah, but my computer is somehow doesn't connect on HDMI. I usually do it on Wi-Fi. This is a Bluetooth connected speaker. So
mobile is there on my mobile.
That has to be on the same network as this, but the internet is not working. The laptop on the channel. Shall we try it? HDMI cable unna? HDMI cable ka?
Port.
unna?
Again, it is the same problem.
Apparently, the internet is not working.
What do you basically? Each product. You have invented any product? You have tried out with any forms of company? Finance.
Okay.
I'm also allowing the function. You're tired of the 40 guys in the
your laptop and we'll all sit in front row. That's good enough.
Yeah, people walk in late, but last time the room was standing on.
Ah.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Today is the exit poll. From 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
6:30, all the major exit poll, the results are out.
Everyone's
Hi.
waiting like this.
No, I mean, do you think this crowd is not here because exit polls?
I'm not aware. I'm just shocked to hear that exit polls. So what is happening? Everyone are talking the same.
I hope you voted.
Sorry, yeah, we voted, but we don't know that focusing on this exit polls.
Exit polls are coming at 6:30.
6:30.
6:30 by law. They can't, if they do before that, Modi will come after that.
Modi will come after, not the election commission.
No, Modi will come after.
We are working to the sufficient I was earlier we are working.
Okay, we should get started. People are walking slowly. We will have to work with our technological challenges.
My laptop opens with a hard 5-6 slides.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Let's
But
try.
just for reference, I think.
Let's try one more laptop. It might happen.
Even if it's not fasting.
This thing. Okay, there it is working. No? What is this?
Signal is coming there.
Yeah. Okay. Don't touch Okay, don't touch anything. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We will have a few more walk-in. Last time it was standing room only, so we shouldn't be surprised if the room is flooded in a few minutes. So, I'm Devakar, manager of Andhra University Incubation Council, AHAB. Welcome to Startup Saturdays, a forum for innovators, entrepreneurs, and investors, and other startup enthusiasts. We have a few new faces. This forum is organized by AHAB and its partners. AHAB is an independent Section 8 company constituted within Andhra University. AHAB has a two-part mission. One, it is a regular incubator with all the usual support services of any incubator. Two, it also leads the institution's Innovation Council of Andhra University. In its second role, AHAB promotes and encourages innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty on campus and in the region. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourselves. Let's pass the mic around. Just your name, your affiliation. Make it short.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Hema. So I'm going to have a conversation with you all very shortly.
Hello everyone, I'm Anila. I'm a second generation entrepreneur from Vizag. We deal with home automation and IT products.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Venkat Shastri. By qualification, I'm a chartered accountant. By occupation, a business consultant for SMEs. That is some of you. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Ram. I'm building a fintech platform for investment services. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Bharat, co-founder of Private Agencies.
Good evening everyone. Myself Varaprasad. I am also co-founder of Private Agencies.
Hello all. Myself Dr. Jagdish. So I am co-founder of Trios Biosciences.
Hello, I am. My name is Rajesh Gupta. I'm an alumni of Andhra University. Long back. Now I have my own company called Rajgovind Associates, on which I represent a loan aggregator called RU Loans, which is started up with 40 banks and NBFCs. We provide mainly SME loans for plant and machinery and working capital finance and business expansion loans. Thank you.
Hello, I am Shaurya. I am a student of BITS Hyderabad and just here for the experience.
Hello everyone, I am Karun Naidu, a retired Army Colonel and a retired helicopter pilot. I just come here to see some of the young minds in action.
Namaskaram, na పేరు Prapul. Basically, I'm from a HR background. I'm an alumni of Central Office, Mrs. Event College and Andhra University. I'm an NCC cadet, Airwing. I'm an air molder, flew molds and won different medals for AP state. And basically what I do is I connect with institutions and help students transition from a job seeker to job creator. And in the process, they find a purposeful career. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Prithviraj and my affiliation is PTech and I am a budding entrepreneur.
Good evening everyone, myself Nagendra. I'm a student, so I just came to know more about it.
Good evening everyone, myself Sayan Kumar. I am from student of Ambedkar University. I am here for just experiencing the startup service.
Hello everyone, my name is Rishi. I am an intern at Ahab.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Rajshekar. I am working in clinical trial related research. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. I'm Giridhar. I'm from a company called Greenbot. We are basically a robotics and AI company. Good to be here.
Good evening everyone, my name is Vigyan. I'm basically from BBA background and I'm doing wildlife photography full stream and I'm working for Vizag Zoo as well as I'm here to share my new ideas and accomplish the knowledge of startups.
A warm welcome to everyone, to all the speakers, guests and attendees. Thank you for joining us today. This forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone and we hope you will take full advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. Pitching your startup. We have a slot for you to pitch your company, regardless of the stage you're at, and it is always good to be practicing your pitch, repeatedly selling yourself and your company in appropriate occasions, of course. So please prepare to pitch often. Please contact me if you're interested in pitching here to book a slot. Idea pitches. Slots for ideas are always available. You have an idea, please go ahead and share it. It can only get better. Technical talk. Each session has a different topic, bringing in experts, sharing their expertise and experience. And open mic session is the last segment of this Startup Saturdays program. If someone feels inspired and wants to share an idea, this is the place to share and get some feedback. Any thoughts are also welcome. We put in the effort to organize these and we are having fun. The more you engage, the more you derive. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while a speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from crosstalk or side conversations. It is distracting. We run a tight program. Kindly note that a pitch is allowed a maximum time of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes to present and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A session. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. We request the audience to reserve your questions for the designated Q&A period. Today we have one startup pitch. Actually, two of you contacted me for startup pitching. One I remembered and I noted it down. The second one I didn't remember. If you're here, please feel free to pitch your startup. First, let's invite Mr. Bharat and his team from Trios Biosciences to pitch their startup.
one and all. Myself, Dr. Jagdish. I'm CEO and co-founder of Trios Biosciences. Before entering to the actual topic, I want to introduce a brief for myself. So I am Dr. Jagdish. I done my PhD in interdisciplinary cancer biology in Seoul National University, South Korea. So now I quickly jump into the topic that I was dealing with. So our company is a startup company, a nutraceutical-based company that is Trios Biosciences. So we basically work on three ideas, three main key pillars of our company. That is precision, prevention, and protection. So in our company, TRI refers to these three principles that we always get an inspiration and motivation to derive and innovative products and molecules. So based on the vision that we look into, there are many therapeutic strategies dealing with the different diseases and disease methodologies. But we are designing a new, innovative and important innovative methods to develop to improve healthier and safest well-being. So when we go into the mission of our company, we are majorly confined to view the sustainable practices, to improve sustainable practices and to enhance the immunity towards various diseases. And our key values, which refers to quality, integrity, collaborative innovation, and sustainability. So we are going to address today the main problem that we are looking into is cancer-related fatigue. Many of you doesn't know what is cancer-related fatigue. So cancer-related fatigue is one of the side effects which is affected by a cancer patient who is taking chemotherapy or radiotherapy or hormonal therapy. Apart from the patients who are taking this therapy, even though the patient is affected with cancer, he also comes under this fatigueness. He also faces this kind of fatigueness. So our company, our motto is to address that kind of fatigueness. So here the fatigueness influences the quality of life of a patient and it decreases the survival rates of cancer patients. So this fatigueness majorly manifests the cancer patients by disrupting their physiological functions. Even though there are other factors in play, but we are focused majorly in the physiological functions. When you look into the population statistics, more than 80% people are get diagnosed or found that people get prone towards this cancer-related fatigue. And when you see the death rate, it is more than 30%. Actually, it is pretty huge in the cancer segment. So there are more than 30% who is caused due to cancer-related fatigue. So now we are working more keenly and deeply in how to face this kind of problem to help the patient for his or her quality of life. So how this cancer-related fatigue is affected and what are the complications exactly? So when you look into these complications, there are several complications like psychological distress, physical inactivity, insomnia, physical deconditioning, and nutrient deprivation and inflammation. Apart from all these complications, we as a company focus on nutrient deprivation. What is nutrient deprivation? People usually are prone to this kind of problem, that is nutrient deprivation, which is majorly falls with the key factors like malnutrition, malabsorption, involuntary weight loss or gain, and abnormal protein demand, and anemic and pro-inflammatory cytokines. These are the major factors which comes under the nutrient deprivation. So when you have this cancer-related fatigueness, the patient with this fatigueness loses the efficacy rate. So when the patient is suffering from cancer-related fatigueness, he or she loses the effects of the treatment efficacy. So we are majorly focusing to enhance the treatment efficacy in the who are having the fatigueness and having the less efficacy. So we are looking into different solutions. We found like nutraceutical adjuvant therapy as a solution. So what is this nutraceutical adjuvant therapy? Which is having the major principle that this therapy follows is medical nutrition therapy, which is an evidence-based study which manages the disease with the help of nutrition and nutrient supplements. So what is the importance of this adjuvant therapy? So the importance having to, firstly, it improves the efficacy, and secondly, it reduces toxicity, and lastly, it strengthens the immunogenicity of the cancer patient. When it follows, this approach can be can solve and in two approaches, like chemo-preventive approach and anti-cancer approach. When you look into chemo-preventive approach, this approach is mainly used in the healthy humans, where he or she can protect against the cancer incidence. So he can have an immune against the cancer for its initiation. And when you look into anti-cancer approach, this anti-cancer approach who was having the cancer already, who are diagnosed with the cancer already, and who are taking chemo and radio and hormonal therapies. So in this cancer patient, this therapy is highly useful. And as a result, these dietary interventions, when we are looking into nutraceutical adjuvant therapy, these interventions can enhances the significant clinical outcomes to reduce the risk of the reoccurrence of cancer and progression of cancer. So what drives us towards the next end is anti-cancer ingredients. These ingredients will take us to solve our problem, cancer-related factors. Here the key players are resveratrol, piperine, probiotics, DH and EPA, tocotrienols, amino acids, curcumin, vitamins and minerals, and coenzyme Q10. These are all the elements who are having anti-cancer and anti-proliferative, anti-carcinogenic roles, which can have an anti-cancer activity to boost the immunity of cancer patients. So this is our product. As we talked about the problem and the solution, we sum up all the solution as Onconol. This is our company's new product. That is, we are dealing with the patients who are affected with diabetes. Onco means oncology, and Nor means onconutrition. This is a new and novel integrated nutrition methodology, which is specifically for cancer patients. So how these ingredients are working in the cancer patients? Here, these ingredients consist of phytochemicals and micro and macronutrients and active amino acids, pro and prebiotics, and dietary supplements. These work synergistically and develops a therapeutic strategy to fight against the cancer. Then this transforms and enhances the bioavailability of these elements in the bloodstream, and these bioavailability enhances their absorption into the bloodstream, so that they can active against the cancer and its progression. So how these elements is administered to the patient? There are two ways we are targeting for the administration. One is oral, and that is enteral. Oral is basically can be dissolved, administered through water, and the enteral is basically administered through through a pipe. It is sent directly into the gut.
One more minute.
So market size. Market size, we are looking into 2.880 as a global market, and finally we are looking into 2.12 million of 10% of market size, which towards the global and Indian market. So we are looking into different business models, that is business to business and business to customer. So in business to business, the key partners are cancer hospitals and clinics and pharmacy and health stores, and B2C are e-commerce and online sites. So these are our projections. We are hoping that we have a 5 years projections. So this year we are planning to sell 6,000 units, and we increased to 20,000 units, and the revenue generated is increased like 45 lakhs 90,000 to 1 crore 53,000, and net profit is also slightly in a increased manner. So this is our team. So firstly is myself, Dr. Jagdish, and secondly Bharat Jalli is also a co-founder, and his qualification is Masters in Biotechnology, and Varaprasad Sethi is also one of the co-founders. He is a Masters in Biotechnology. So as finally I conclude, it's a fund requirement. It's around 30 lakhs. We offer 6% equity. In this requirement, we segregate the fund into product development, marketing, and human resources. Thank you.
3 minutes of question answers.
Is the product already done, or is it in development?
It's in development. It is R&D. We have a prototype, but it is in R&D.
So you are yet to get other approvals.
Sorry.
You are yet to get approvals and stuff.
No, we already got the approvals, but we are looking for the product to be manufactured in the company. Now it is in the research and stabilizing, standardizing the compound.
Do you have a manufacturing facility?
Not yet. We hired a third-party manufacturer. So
Privately?
Privately.
So is this only applicable for benign cancers people, or is it applicable for terminal too?
Sorry.
Is it only meant for benign cancers people, or is it applicable for terminal?
Designed for only cancer patients.
Yes, cancer has two types, benign and
I
terminal.
understand benign tumor, but we are not looking into the benign tumor. If we give, it may or may not have effect, but we target only the cancer patients who are taking chemo and radiotherapy, who are taking these therapies.
So
because we are looking to increase the efficacy of the chemo and radiotherapy. Because nowadays, if you see, the efficacy rate is quite low. If you go to a clinician, he only tells you only 70% of success rate if you take this chemo. But you want to enhance this gap, 70 to 30, 100%, there is a 30% gap, right? Because there is a gap is because resistance caused by chemo. Because with lack of this adjuvant therapy, this chemo doesn't work as it is. So the efficacy is getting minimized. So we are looking into enhance those efficacy so that a patient can limit his stage, and the efficacy, we can increase the efficacy so that it can use the less amount of chemo, so that the side effect can minimize.
So patients don't go through chemo or radiotherapy when chemo is benign. Am I right?
Yeah, right. When it is benign,
so
they will
your
not.
answer is they're not from
And when is it going to go into production?
Production in one month or 1.5 months.
Does it reduce the side effects of the chemo and radiotherapy?
Yes.
By how much percentage?
Percentage, actually there is no evidence, qualitative evidence.
No, because if you have chemotherapy and radiotherapy, the side effects are that you lose your hair,
yes.
you get a lot of weakness, you get a lot of fatigue.
Yes.
So what is the percentage by which it reduces the side effects of the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy?
Yeah.
Because that's very, very important.
Yeah.
For the patient to be taking the drug.
Yeah.
Because when you see the side effects of chemo, it's very heavy. Radiotherapy is also very heavy. So by how much percentage it will help to reduce the side effects of chemo as well as increase the efficacy of chemo?
So this is a nutritional product, right? I'm following up on that question. This is a nutritional product, right? So are you required to go through clinical trials before you release it?
Yeah.
You are
Till
required.
now we have evidence. We don't have any clinical trials yet, but we have only the evidence which are published in reputed journals.
Okay.
So we are using that kind of data to formulate.
So are similar products available elsewhere?
Not yet. This is a new one.
So
What is
no
the
other
category?
markets.
No other markets. No other markets. This is a new one.
What is the category of compound which it belongs to?
It is therapeutics.
I know it is therapeutics. The compound, the family of compounds which it belongs to.
Phytochemicals. Phytochemicals.
Alright. I'm sure there are many other questions.
Sir, I mean, he's telling that this is a nutritional product. So, how is it differ from what we have as a dietary products? I mean.
Okay, last question. Go ahead and answer.
Yeah, it's the components can be the same, but the mechanism that we are targeting is completely different. Because here we are looking at the synergic effect, right? The synergic effect that we are using is completely new. But the concentrations, the elements that we are putting in, because the resveratrol is very new. You don't find in any other compound or any formulation that you find in the normal market. Resveratrol is highly new molecule that we are adding in these. And pre and probiotics are completely new. This is a completely cocktail which is completely new. You can't find in the regular market because this cocktail has anti-cancer activity. It is not like just as a supplement. This is having an activity which can reduce cancer growth. So it's already we have evidence. We have a sound evidence so that we can have an clinical trials.
Is it an injectable or an oral supplement?
Oral and external. It's an oral and enteral. It's like tube feeding and oral. Thank you.
Unfortunately, we are running a tight program, so we have to stop there. Thank you, Dr. Jagdish, and students is available. We can have other questions and possibly explore a collaboration or funding it, or he's looking for 30 lakhs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. That's very good. So pitching your startup is important even if that is just for practice. This forum encourages everyone to pitch your startup. Please contact me if you would like to pitch your startup and I will schedule it into the next available slot. Like I said earlier, there is another startup who contacted me to pitch today, but I did not note it down. So if you're here, if you want to pitch your startup, please, now is the time. Alright? Now let's move to the main feature of today's session.
Is it 10 lakhs or 30 lakhs?
30 lakhs.
That's not, that is 30 lakhs. That is 30 lakhs.
It is looking like 30 lakhs.
But we can be sure that it is 30 lakhs because we just come from. So, let's move to the main feature of today's session. This segment sort of defines each session of Startup Saturdays. Those of us organizing these sessions and many who attend regularly wonder how these are structured. Here is a mental map. Here is a mental map to think about them. Today's session is at the company level. We look at these sessions as in 4 different ways. You are either listening to topics related to an entrepreneur, individual entrepreneur, or the company level. You know, startups have their own emerging properties. Company is a unit. You want to think about different things when you're thinking about the company versus an entrepreneur. There is a sector. If your company is in healthcare sector, for example, that has its own topics, challenges, opportunities, different ways to think about it. And the field of practice, what entrepreneurship looks like now, what it looked like years ago, decades ago, and what is evolving, what's coming up. So today's session is at the company level. Dr. Hema earned her PhD in Human Resource Management from Andhra University and started her own consulting firm helping organizations improve their HR practices. Let's invite Dr. Hema to discuss some of the critical components in HR relevant to startups. Thank you, Dr. Hema, for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me. So, let me start.
Sure, let me open your presentation.
I don't think I need a mic. Do I?
Yes. While you start,
Oh, yes.
because the session is
Sometimes when I attend these kind of sessions, I'm an odd man out because I'm from HR background and most of you are from the technical backgrounds representing startups. But again, I convince myself saying that whether it is manufacturing industry or services, HR is an integral part of every industry. So HR is there everywhere. No organization can run without HR. So that actually is very, very soothing for me. So I don't want to make it like a one-way presentation. Let's make it an interactive session. That's a kind of a request from my side, so that we end up learning from each other and simultaneously it's interesting for all of us. So the outline of the session is like this. We would discuss a few interesting examples, global examples and Indian examples, and then see what are the challenges faced by the startups in the field of HR and a few strategies that would help them to overcome these challenges. Generally speaking, HR is one area which is overlooked by the startups. How many of you agree to this? I think most of you should say yes, because HR is one field which is generally overlooked by the startups because their main focus is on product development, marketing and getting investments and funds. So HR usually takes a backseat. But today I'm going to talk about the importance of HR and how it helps in the long run to have HR processes in place right from the beginning. So I would like to share a few short stories. We all like stories, right? So I would like to give an example of a company, a multinational company, which is known for its groundbreaking products and services. I think you should guess the name of the company. So it is known for its employee engagement, and it is considered as one of the top companies in the world. Why it thinks employee engagement is very, very important is that it feels that when employees are happy, they come out with better creativity and innovation. They give out more potential. They bring out their potential in a better way. That will help in the growth of the employees as well as the company. So employee engagement takes the topmost priority. So one interesting feature in this company is that the company gives the employees a freedom of using 20% of their work time to work in a project of their choice, other than the work assigned to them.
Google.
Yes, Google, you're right. So, employee engagement here, sorry?
3M is also that gives.
Okay, they follow the same practice?
And so stickies had come up.
Okay.
One of the idea of one of the typists.
Okay.
He said, I'm sticking everything on my typewriter and computer. Is there something we could do? So that's how she volunteered. And 3M does also calculate.
Okay, that's nice to know. So this talks about how much importance the company gives to the employees and their happiness. So second company I would like to quote is Zappos. How many of you heard about the name Zappos? It's an online company which sells footwear and clothing. Now, most of the companies, many of the companies we see is they believe in delivering happiness to customers. But this is one company which believes in delivering happiness to customers and employees also. So the top priorities for the company is transparency, fun, and customer satisfaction. So it follows a kind of, it's called a holocratic structure, where the employees do self-management. Means what? They are not micromanaged. So I think I should go there to change.
Yeah, you are on the stage, you will connect.
The only thing you will touch there is the arrow. Don't do anything
Oh,
else.
I know.
Don't touch anything.
Because I use MacBook.
Arrow key, that's it.
Okay. So, holocratic structure is something where the employees are given total freedom to self-manage, and the decision making is highly decentralized. So they strongly believe that the employees can take better decisions. They are not micromanaged. So the result of this is the company has gained lot of customer satisfaction along with employee engagement and highest brand loyalty. So that's about Zappos. And coming to Netflix, we don't have to talk much about Netflix. We know how big the company is and how successful the company is. So one important feature or the facility it offers to its employees is that unlimited vacation time. Now what does it reflect? When I say unlimited vacation time to the employees, what do you think the company is offering?
You can work on vacation level of year now.
It shows the trust, right? And it proved, the employees have proved the company right. They never took any undue advantage of the unlimited vacation period, and they behaved in a very, very responsible way. So that's another way of showing how important the customers are. So I would also like to take an example of an Indian company. The top priorities of the company are integrity, trust, and long-term vision. I think you should be able to say the company's name. Yeah? Tata's, yes. You're right. So these are the 3 top priorities. Now what you must observe here is, we have not talked about the profits the company are making, these companies are making. We have not talked about the technology or the equipment used by the company. We are talking about, the moment I said integrity and trust, you said Tata's. Now where does it come from? Where does the integrity and trust come from? Does the machines, do the machines give integrity and trust?
Within.
It is the people, right? So finally, it is the human resources who can make or break a company. So we will have a negative example also. Since we discussed about positive examples, let's discuss about a company which is known for its toxic culture. It was a company, it was a leading airlines in our country, which shut down its operations, yes, in 2012. So you know how Vijay Mallya is known for his extravagant way of leading his life and the show off. But if you look at the inside story, the employees were never paid salaries on time and the working conditions were very, very poor. So finally it has, and even the questionable decision making practices. So all these things have finally made the company to shut down its operations. So what we observe here is, it's the people who can make or break a company. The culture is very, very important. So when we say culture, how do you define culture? What is your definition of culture?
Way of life.
Way of life? Any other definitions of culture?
A set of values.
A set of values, yes.
How the decision making is done in an organization.
Yes.
How they interact.
Okay. So who builds culture?
The local people.
Society.
Society. When we are talking about organizations, when we talk about organization culture, who are responsible for building the culture?
The founder.
Top management.
Top management? Only top management?
They set the values. They set the tone.
Yeah, they set the values, but the execution,
Create the culture.
yeah, it's done at all the levels, right? So when we say culture, organization culture, it's basically built by the people, that is the human resources of the company. Now I want to draw your attention to the basic definition of what is organization culture. So when we say organization culture, it is a unique, because every company will have its own culture. We can feel it, right? When we go to certain organizations, we can feel the culture there. So in some organizations we feel positive, in some organizations we are not comfortable, we can immediately feel the toxicity of the company. So it is a unique social environment and the psychological environment. Now what do you mean by social environment and psychological environment? Let's imagine that this is an organization, this entire room is an organization and we all are employees in the organization. So the social environment is that there are bosses, that is superiors, there are subordinates, there are peers, right? They have a relationship between them. And when we talk about psychological environment, what does it mean? When there are about say 50 employees in an organization. Work pressure. Targets, not exactly targets. So we like a few people. If we all are a part of an organization, we like a few people, we dislike a few people, we respect few people, then we get irritated looking at a few people, we feel jealous about a few people. Do you all agree or not?
Yes.
These are all emotions. The emotions flow in an organization. We all are human beings, right? So organization is nothing but a group of human resources. So when there are human resources, the emotions are very, very normal and natural. And there is a flow of emotions. So all these emotions are reflected in the form of attitudes and behaviors of the people. Do you all agree or not?
Yes.
So if I am comfortable working in an organization, it is reflected in my behavior and attitude. If I am not comfortable, If I'm jealous of somebody or if I'm unhappy with the management, it again reflects in my behavior and in my attitude. So this attitude and behavior of the people is clearly evident in the culture. Now because of this, what will happen is the employee interactions are decided. When the culture is positive, people interact in a positive way. If the culture is toxic, then the interactions are different. Then the way they take decisions, the perspectives about the company, everything matters. And all these will finally have an impact on the performance of the employees, then the job satisfaction, then the employee engagement, then the creativity they show, then the agility, retention. I think I'm using a lot of HR jargon. Is it boring?
Attrition also.
Yeah, attrition also. Because the moment I get into a talk, I tend to use a lot of HR jargon. But wherever you feel uncomfortable, please stop me and ask me to make it simpler. So all these are nothing but the effects of the culture of an organization. So that's how the culture is defined. Generally, now coming to why we are talking about culture is, in a startup, as I told you, the main focus is on product development, marketing the product, and getting money or investments. So the culture is one thing which is neglected, and human resources, which is an integral part of the culture, are also neglected.
Because the more concepts to say teamwork is more important.
Teamwork is also very important. That again
If
reflects.
teamwork reflects cohesiveness of the
Yes.
human resources at a particular place.
So cohesiveness is said to be one of the very important component of an organization culture. It's a part of organization culture.
And the ability to work together is very important.
Very important. Now that is possible only.
You didn't mention teamwork as one of the.
There are many. That's what I said. When I said interactions and interrelationship between the employees, interpersonal relationships, all those reflect the teamwork. So these are all the interrelated aspects of an organization culture, because it's all about people. As I said, we all are full of positive and negative emotions. So they will be reflected in some way or the other. Now, coming back to the topic startups. So I want to draw your attention to a few statistics which are given by very reliable sources. So I want you all to give a reading to the statistics. So 62% of Indian startups in the ideation phase report significant challenges in attracting and retaining top talent. Yeah.
That is even more.
So what is the problem that is observed in the first situation? Retention of employees is a major challenge. 62% of the startup companies face this challenge of retaining the employees. Then the second statistics say that average turnover in Indian startups is around 25% higher than in more established firms. And this statistics is given by LinkedIn. Then regarding the skill gaps.
So what does that mean when you say that?
Which one, sir?
Indian startup is around 25% higher.
Now what is turnover? Turnover means employee turnover. We are talking- Yeah, leaving the organization. We are not talking about the company turnover. Employee turnover is a different term. It's a negative word. People leaving the organization is called employee turnover.
It's like attrition.
It's attrition.
Yeah, it is attrition. It is attrition. So this statistics say that compared to the established organizations, startups have more number of people leaving the organization or jobs. Then, regarding the skill gaps, around 48% of startups face issues with the skill gaps where the available talent does not meet the required skill sets for the job roles. I think the startups which are here, you have to say whether this is a fact or not. Do you face this problem? There is always a skill gap in the market. Yes?
Yes.
You must be facing this problem, right? Okay. Then the next one is approximately 30% of startups report difficulties in navigating the labor laws, that is legislations and regulatory compliances. So what are we talking about when we say difficulty in hiring, high turnover rates, skill gaps, compliances and legal issues? This is again all about people. It's not pertaining about money or machinery or land or building. It is about people.
People and knowledge.
Yeah.
Both.
Knowledge just possesses 5 people, right? So, yeah, it's about people. So, coming to the top 6 challenges faced by the startups today, especially in India. The first is attracting top talent. Now, what do you think is the reason for this?
Money.
Because financial resources are very, very limited. The startups cannot offer competitive salaries as compared to the counterparts.
Even an office ambience, because every student or normally people who join a startup, every student or a young person dreams of a very good ambience, which is a difficulty for a startup.
They don't focus on the layout or the beauty of the office. Their main focus is on the product development and how to sell it, how to get the approvals. The focus is totally different. So, attracting the top talent, firstly, limited resources. And secondly, availability is also a problem. Then, employee retention. Why do you think the startups are not able to retain employees for a longer period? Those who are representing startups should be able to tell about this.
Skill gap. Skill gap.
Skill gap. Okay. Then, do you see any other reason?
Difficulty in sustaining the cost of the employees who, by chance, they have joined with the top talent. The expectation of the employee would be very high.
Yes.
And in a high gear. So startup, though he feels that the employee has got the knowledge, but he feels that at the same time he is not getting the remuneration that he is due for. So that could be
Exactly.
one of the reasons.
The startups will not be able to provide the required growth or the expected growth to the employees because of again the limited resources. Another major reason is.
Can you use the mic, please? You're being recorded and people who are watching online, they can't hear you.
Okay. I think there was some issue with the mic, so I stopped using it. Okay. Another major reason for employee retention is work-life balance. Because startups will not work from 10 to 5 or they don't have fixed times. The work is very, very demanding and very pressurizing. So they don't look at the clock and shut down the office, right? So it's very demanding and sometimes they go into a stage of burnout. Burnout is nothing but the extreme stage of stress. So the employees or the people who join the startups, if they're not able to withstand the stress or the burnout, then they don't enjoy the job and they leave. So work-life balance is another major issue because of which the employees are not retained. Then coming to building and maintaining company culture. As I told you, the startups, yes.
Madam, work-life balance is an issue for Gen Z people, madam. How about millennials or Gen and how about millionaires or baby boomers, something? Those generational people.
Work-life balance in general is a universal problem for everyone.
For everyone.
It's for everyone. Even if we don't work, we feel stressed out. When we work, we are stressed out. So what is your question?
No, madam. Actually, work-life balance is most controversial with the Gen Z people, madam. So how about we take the millennial generational people or later people, but not Gen Z people? So they would have much more experience.
So what are you?
I'm actually in Gen Z, madam.
Gen Z, okay. So any millennials in the group? Oh, you are a millennial. You should be able to address the question. What makes you feel stressed? Because I don't belong to either of the categories.
So the problem is, I think the biggest problem with everyone, I'm a millennial as well.
Okay. Maybe you would be able to throw better light on what he asked. So what do you think is makes work stressful? We'll come back to you, sir. One second.
I I think there should be a proper coordination amongst the teams which are working in the company. If there is no proper coordination amongst the people in the company, then there can be a stressful work as well. There should be a proper flow of everything that is being done in the company. So like, somebody you consider a design organization, they consider design thinking process. So a design organization without a design thinking process is actually worthless. So there should be certain values, ethics and rules so that you can create a
There should be values, ethics, and they should be communicated well. What I feel is, not just having values, ethics is enough. They should be communicated well to all the employees working in an organization. So communication and coordination is the main issue you feel. Okay. What about you? What do you think makes work stressful?
Stress, I think, is the idea of expectation and the ability to deliver. The gap is what causes stress. So the more you expect, the more stressful you are.
Okay.
As an organization, I mean, in startups especially, it's higher because you have limited resources and your time to die is very fast. So you tend to have more stress. In larger organizations, you have resources, so you can play around, so your stress is low.
So does it have anything to do with attention span? Because research studies have proved that the millennials have shorter attention span and the patience levels are low compared to the previous generations. So do you think it's one of the reasons where they feel stressed and they feel dissatisfied more often? You have no idea. Okay.
They want faster results.
Yeah, faster results. That's what I said. The attention span, they don't have patience. Yes, sir.
The biggest problem is, I find with a lot of people, not only startups, not only people in the startups, the biggest problem I have been, to say in a second about me, I have been in the profit sharing, on a profit sharing basis in every company for the last 30 years. You know, more than a job, a profit sharing profession is a very stressful profession, right? The biggest thing I do is, I never call anybody or receive calls before 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? Except my family. And then after 6 in the evening, I don't call anybody, I receive any calls. Because that's the only way you can maintain your work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because if you allow everybody to call you after 6 also, then what's the time you have for yourself and your family, right?
So you are slowly reducing your personal space.
Yes.
Or your personal time.
Yes.
I think that is also a very, very valid point.
You have to be very strict on your day. If you say I don't want to pick up my calls after 6 o'clock, you should stick to it. Then everybody will know not to call you after 6 o'clock.
And especially post-COVID, once we started working online more often, so there is no time limit. Mails are sent even at 11 o'clock in the night and you get tempted to reply immediately, right? So you don't draw limits or boundaries to yourself when it is an online work mode. Yes, sir.
As you rightly pointed out, till the time for the startup, it's been a scheduled life, college, office, school, college, kind of. That which is seen by the entire ecosystem, all friends and relatives. Sunday free hota hai, beach chilenge, all of them. Suddenly when they become different characters, startup, 24 hours is not sufficient for the development of the work, meeting and everything. Suddenly all the members are missing in their friends and everything. So, if the startup makes a point, all the members, they make it a point that once in a week or once in a fortnight or Amavasya Paurnami, whichever is the time, they make it a point to connect with all else that I am busy with these things. So, it's not making people understand, it's making an effort to let them that my life scenario at this juncture is like this. I am available to all, but my work is like this. So if I look neglecting you, it's not neglecting, but I am focusing. So communication management for startups during the first 6 months or so, someone hand-holding or they defining themselves how they communicate with their friends and family in a new changed avatar. Once that point is mentioned, once you communicate, all will understand. If you don't tell, others will understand in different way, misunderstand. It's about
Communication is the key. And one more thing is, we see a lot of companies nowadays offering recreational facilities at the company itself. The other day when I had a conversation with Divakar Garu, he was talking about a startup where the employees are given a lot of recreational facilities to de-stress themselves. So which is again a very, very good thing which is seen nowadays in the company. Yeah. Make it crisp because We have time limit.
Madam, about that like stress, like I mean, the Gen X or millennials or the baby boomers. I mean, I'm talking about the India. So after independence, these were the generations, madam. So due to the poverty at that time, they used to do hard work, regardless of the time limits, madam. So due to their hard work, the millennials and Gen Zs don't have anything to do about the hard work, madam. So they feel like the stress, the work and the life would be stressful when they join startups. So what I am telling is, when they are attracting top talented people, I mean startups shouldn't attract top talent people, but they should attract ambitious people. I mean who will be contributing to startup, not someone who is only working for a salary. And
Very valid point.
They should also hire the Gen X and Gen X or baby boomers, may be old, maybe Gen X man. So there will be providing their experience to the millennials or the Gen Zs man.
So that's
it
where
will be
inclusion,
better.
we talk about inclusivity, where we need to have people of different genders and different age groups so that they all come up with their own perspectives, and it's very, very useful for companies. Yes. Then coming to legal and compliance issues, as I told you, there are many, many labor legislations which need to be followed by the companies, however big or small the company is. And generally in startups, there will not be a person who has an expertise in the HR, or they are not very well versed with the documentation of either the contracts or the offer letters or the policies. So, in the long run, all these will have its own negative impact. So the startups must make sure that they should begin looking at it also. That is, they should start understanding what are the legislations they are supposed to follow, what is the documentation required as far as HR is concerned, and how to draft policies. All these things are also equally important in the long run. Then coming to performance management. Now, as I told you, the main focus is on product development. There are no metrics to measure the performances at the end of the year. And at the same time, there is no feedback system in these organizations. So when there is no feedback system, the employees will not have an opportunity to know what are the gaps. And again, because of lack of resources, proper training and development programs cannot be taken up by these companies. So that's another major area where the startups are lacking or they're finding it challenging. Then coming to scalability. Now, most of the startups, they follow very informal HR processes, and they need to transition from these informal HR processes into more scalable and more structured HR processes, which will help them in the long run. So these are the challenges. How much more time do we have? 2 more minutes? Okay. So I want you all to just have a look, give a reading to the strategies. These are the simple strategies which will help the startups to overcome the challenges which we have discussed. Maybe 1 or 2 we can discuss if you want to, or which you feel are important.
Continuous learning and development.
Continuous learning and development. As I said, or as we all know, startups cannot invest a lot of money into training and development like public sector organizations or other organizations where they have earmarked budgets in crores and lakhs of rupees every year. So what can be done to start with learning and development is there are many, many beautiful courses available online. Maybe they can help the employees to sign up for these kind of courses which are at a very, very nominal cost. Another way of learning and development is having mentors. There are many people who are very experienced in the industry who volunteer, who would love to volunteer and share their experiences and knowledge with the startup employees, being the mentors. That's another way which can be used. Do you all agree or not? There are a lot of people. Only thing is you should have the right kind of interest and you should know how to approach and make use of their services. That's it. Any other point?
Yes. One more strategy.
Yes.
In addition to this,
Yes.
that may be considered is artificial intelligence. Now there are so many versions for startups and for HR and all that, and you ask that and it will tell you everything.
Yes.
So maybe that may be one of the strategies. I mean, not the only one,
Yeah.
but maybe one of them.
I think the startups They are the people who will use artificial intelligence in the most intelligent manner. As I heard somebody saying that, rather than depending totally on artificial intelligence, AI, make it IA. That is, make it intelligent assistant to you. Rather than you becoming a slave to artificial intelligence. You should know how to do it diligently and do a smart work. I think with that, we will stop the conversation. Look forward to meeting you all again to have a detailed discussion on any other topic related to HR. Thank you so much, Divakar Garu, for the opportunity.
Thank you. We will skip the Q&A. We will skip the Q&A because Dr. Hema, Dr. Hema handled her session in a very good way. There was a lot of conversation. Thank you for spending the time with us. I could see the enthusiasm, and so many people wanted to contribute. This is great. She's available to us. That's her contact information. Please get in touch with her.
Yes.
So Dr. Hema offered to help startups at our hub pro bono. So if I said pro bono help startups. We have 174 startups. Not everybody can get help. So there will be a line. There will be a line that she will not cross at some point. She'll figure out, okay, this is too much. So please reach out to her. There's a lot to learn from her. There's a lot that we need to comply with. Okay. Thank you. Moving on. The next one is idea pitching session. The next segment. So we have two teams that wanted to pitch ideas. So one is a team from a high school in Sabuvaram. This team participated in the robotics hackathon this weekend. So please come on up. They started a business. So here is a point. Here's something that we all need. Come on up here. If you have a presentation, maybe that's going to be tough. We have 3 minutes or 4 minutes maximum. So we need to run it fast. So tell people what you're doing. You can speak in Telugu. There is no necessity to speak in English. Speak in Telugu is fine. Okay? You want to come up here or you want to stand down there?
Go up the stage. That is better.
Always. Telugu maatladadu Telugu maatladadu. Very fluent. Yeah. Use any language you're comfortable with. Not Oriya and Bengal and all that.
I would know. And we are coming from Sapavaram. We are coming from Sapavaram. I participated in Tinkerpreneur by Adult Tinkering Labs. ఎలా చెప్పుకోవాలంటే స్మాల్ MBA కోర్స్ అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. అందులో మాకు ఫస్ట్ స్కిల్స్ నేర్పించారు, తర్వాత ప్రోడక్ట్ డెవలప్మెంట్, అలా మార్కెటింగ్ స్ట్రాటజీస్, అలా పిచ్చింగ్ డెక్ వరకు అయ్యింది. నియర్లీ 10,000 టీమ్స్ వరకు పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తే టాప్ 100 సెలెక్ట్ చేశారనమాట. అండ్ జనవరి ఐ థింక్ అందులో 38th పొజిషన్ వచ్చింది. అండ్ మాకు తర్వాత ISBతో ఇంటరాక్షన్ కోసం టాప్ 20 తీస్తారన్నమాట. టాప్ 100 తర్వాత టాప్ 20 తీయడానికి ISBతో ఇంటరాక్షన్ కోసం మాకు కొంచెం రెవెన్యూ కావాల్సి వచ్చింది. ఆ రెవెన్యూ కోసం మా స్కూల్లోనే చిన్న స్టార్ట్ చేసాం అనమాట. మా ఐడియా గురించి మాట్లాడుకుంటే ర్యాపిడ్ రూట్ డెలివరీ అనేసి కంపెనీ నేమ్. అందులో ఎలాంటిదంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు అమెజాన్లో క్లాత్స్ అండ్ జొమాటోలో ఫుడ్ అండ్ ఫ్లైట్స్ కోసం ఇంకో టాటా న్యూ అలా వాడకుండా అన్నీ కలిపి ఒకటే యాప్ అన్నట్టు డిజైన్ చేసి ఒక ఐడియా తీసుకొచ్చాం అనమాట. అండ్ అందులో యూనిట్కి ఫ్యూచర్ ఏంటని మాట్లాడుకుంటే మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే 10 ఆర్డర్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుంటారో ఎలాగో ఏ అనేది అందరికీ తెలుసు, అలాగే దాని కొంచెం అర్బన్లో అందరికీ తెలుసు, రూరల్లో చాలామంది తెలియదు కాబట్టి దాన్ని కొంచెం అందరికీ క్లోజ్ చేద్దామని చెప్పేసి ఎప్పుడైతే మా దగ్గర నుంచి 10 ఆర్డర్స్ మీకు కంప్లీట్ అవుతాయో అప్పుడు మేము పాపప్ అవుతాం అనమాట. ఏఐ నుంచి మీకు ఏమైనా అసిస్టెన్స్ కావాలని. అంటే మాకు అంత స్కిల్స్ లేవు. ఏఐని కొంచెం చాట్‌జీపీటీని కొంచెం వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేద్దాం, అలాగే ఏదైనా స్కిల్ అనేది వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేద్దామని చెప్పి స్టార్ట్ చేసాం అనమాట. అండ్ మా
మనకు వచ్చిన రెవెన్యూ నియర్లీ వన్ మంత్కి 2000 వస్తుంది, ప్రాఫిట్స్ నియర్లీ 3000 ఉంది. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకో యూనిక్ ఫ్యూచర్ రేట్ అని మాట్లాడుకుంటే మనం జొమాటో స్విగ్గీ మాట్లాడుకుంటే అందులో ఫుడ్ అనేది లేట్ అవ్వడం అండ్ బ్యాడ్ క్వాలిటీ అవ్వడం అండ్ మధ్యలో తినేస్తున్నాం, అది నిజమో కాదు అబద్ధం కానీ ఏది న్యూసే కదా. అప్పుడు వచ్చిన థాట్ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళని ట్రాకింగ్ చేస్తాయి, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడైనా ఆడినప్పుడు మనకి నోటిఫికేషన్ రావడం, ఆ డెలివరీ బాయ్నే ట్రాకింగ్ చేసినట్టు చేయడం అనేది ఇంకా యూనిక్ ఫ్యూచర్ అని మాట్లాడుతుంది.
As you mentioned earlier, profits, revenue is 2000 and profits are 3000. Yeah. Actually, there are many అంటే కొన్ని టిప్స్ కూడా ఇచ్చేవారు, అంటే డెలివరీ చేసేటప్పుడు అలా వచ్చేటప్పుడు కొన్ని టిప్స్ వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేవారు అనమాట. సో రెవెన్యూ అనేది ఒక్కొక్కసారి పెరుగుతుంటుంది తగ్గుతుంటుంది. రెవెన్యూ అనేది ఒక 5000 నియర్లీ వస్తుంది. దాంట్లో ప్రాఫిట్స్ అనేది మేము ఒక్కొక్క ఆర్డర్కి 5 రూపీస్ 10 రూపీస్ వేసుకుంటూ చేస్తున్నాము. ఫస్ట్ ఆర్డర్ ఫ్రీగా చేసాము, మిగతా ఆర్డర్స్ అనేవి అలా పెంచుకుంటూ వెళ్తున్నాం బై ద ఆర్డర్ లిమిట్. అలా అమెజాన్ అలా ప్రొసీడ్ అవుతుందో మేము కూడా జస్ట్ అలా ప్రొసీడ్ అవుతున్నాం. ఏమైనా టిప్స్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నారా, సజెషన్స్?
అంటే డాన్సో బ్లింకిట్ లాంటి స్టార్టప్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ఇలాగే ఉన్నాయి కదా, వాటికి మీకు డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటని?
డాన్స్ బ్లింకిట్ వినలేదు.
డాన్సో అండ్ బ్లింకిట్ కూడా సేమ్ ఇలాంటివే కదా.
ఓకే. డాన్సో is only C2C business, like client to client.
Blinkit.
So that is also a C2C business, but we are introducing B2B, B2C and C2C and D2C. DD is the unique factor. Direct to customer. Oh. From like Amazon.
The end maybe there is some entity.
Thanks a lot.
This startup, are you creating fleet of డోర్ డెలివరీ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారా, లేకపోతే అసలు ఎలా అవుతుంది మీ మోడల్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఇస్ ఇట్ యువర్ టెక్నాలజీ ఇదా?
దిస్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ప్రాసెస్. ప్రస్తుతానికి ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ లో పెట్టాము. ఇలా అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్కరి దగ్గర వెళ్తూ ప్రతి ఒక్కరి దగ్గర కలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటూ వాళ్ళ ఒపీనియన్స్ అన్ని జనరల్ గా నోట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం. సో ఇది ఆపర్చునిటీ కోసం వచ్చాము. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎవరైనా ఫండింగ్ చేసినా ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసినా దాని లార్జ్ స్కేల్ ఇండస్ట్రీలోకి వెళ్తాం. సపోజ్ మేము స్మాల్ స్కేల్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఉన్నాం. ఎలా అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాడికి షాప్ ఉంది ఆల్రెడీ. సో వాడికి షాప్ ఉంది కాబట్టి వాడు ప్రతి ఒక్కరు నేను ఇంటర్వెల్స్ లో క్లాసెస్ ఆపుకొని ఇంటర్వెల్స్ లో వెళ్ళి మేము మా స్కూల్ బోర్డు ముందర మా యొక్క ప్రొడక్ట్స్ లిస్ట్ ఆఫర్స్ ఇవన్నీ పెడుతూ ఉంటాం జనరల్ గా రోజు. సో వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని మేము ప్రతి ఒక్కరి క్లాస్కి వెళ్ళి నోట్ చేసుకుంటాం. దాని నెక్స్ట్ డే వచ్చి మళ్ళీ డెలివరీ చేస్తారు.
నా క్వశ్చన్, మీ టెక్నాలజీ బిల్డ్ చేస్తున్నారా లేకపోతే బయట ఇప్పుడు డెలివరీ ఉంది కదా, సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు వెళ్ళే డెలివరీ ఇస్తున్నారా లేకపోతే అలాంటి డెలివరీ వాళ్ళని మీ దాంట్లో ఆన్ బోర్డ్ చేస్తున్నారా అనేది నా క్వశ్చన్.
మేము డెలివరీ చేస్తున్నాం ప్రస్తుతానికి, అదే చెప్తున్నాను. మేము ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ప్రాసెస్ లో ఉన్నాం, తెలుసుకుంటున్నాం అసలు ఏం చేద్దాం అనుకున్నాం తెలుసుకుంటున్నాం.
సో డెలివరీస్ ఉంది,
మేమే డెలివరీ చేస్తున్నాం.
మీరే
డెలివరీ పర్సన్స్.
అప్లికేషన్ కూడా మీరే డెవలప్ చేస్తున్నారు?
ఓకే. సో అప్లికేషన్ కూడా ఏ టూల్స్ ద్వారా చేస్తున్నాం, ప్రతిదీ ఏ టూల్స్ ద్వారా చేస్తున్నాం. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మేము లార్జ్ స్కేల్ ఎలా వద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం అంటే, సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు మా స్వీట్స్ మా యొక్క ఏమైనా నచ్చింది అనుకోండి ఒక అమ్మాయికి కానీ ఎవరికైనా అబ్బాయికి కానీ. సో సపోజ్ ఒక అమ్మాయిని తీసుకుందాం, సపోజ్ ఎనీథింగ్ రియా అనే అమ్మాయి ఉంది. సో తను 8th క్లాస్లో మా ఆర్డర్స్ ఎక్కువ తీసుకుంటారు. సో తను ఎప్పుడైనా మెచ్యూర్డ్ అయింది అనుకోండి. సో మెచ్యూర్డ్ అయినప్పుడు స్వీట్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఇవన్నీ తనకి భోజనాలు ఇవన్నీ పెడతాయి కదా. సో అలాంటప్పుడు తన యొక్క ఆర్డర్ అనేది మా దగ్గర నుంచి తెప్పించుకోవచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే మాకు షాప్స్ ఉన్నాయి, వీళ్ళ దగ్గర షాప్ ఉందన్నమాట, వాళ్ళ దగ్గర వెజిటేబుల్స్ అన్నీ ఉంటాయి. సో ఆల్ ఇన్ వన్ షాప్ అనమాట, డ్రై ఫ్రూట్స్ అని. సో అది లార్జ్ స్కేల్ లో వస్తుంటుంది అనమాట. జనరల్ గా స్మాల్ నుంచి లార్జ్ స్కేల్ అంటే ఎక్కువగా చేస్తాం. థ్యాంక్స్ అలాట్.
11th class. He's in 11th grade. And you're in 10th grade. That's awesome. Very good. We are running out of time, so is there any other idea pitch? Okay, let's move to the next segment, which is open mic. This is where we all can share our thoughts on anything relevant.
I do have an idea.
Sorry?
I have an idea.
Okay, let's move to the open mic session and you can come up here. Come up here.
Open mic.
Time limit is 2 minutes. 2 minutes time limit.
So good evening everybody. Myself Pranav, I am from HYtalent Vidyalaya School, Sabavaram. So నా స్టార్ట్అప్ కంపెనీ పేరు వచ్చేసి ఈకో సర్వీసెస్. సో అంటే మా స్టార్ట్అప్ అనేది ప్యూర్గా ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ రిలేటెడ్, టోటల్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. సో జనరల్గా ఇప్పుడు అందరికీ తెలుసు, ఇప్పుడు చాలా మందికి తెలుసు కదా ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఎలా ఉంటున్నాయని. దేర్ ఇస్ వేస్ట్ పొల్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది, ఎయిర్ పొల్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది, ఇంకా చాలా మటుకు గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ పెట్టింది కదా ఆపడానికి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ స్వచ్ఛ భారత్ ఉంది, అది ఫెయిల్ అయిపోయింది. అదేవిధంగా గంగా రివర్లోని వాటర్ డెడ్ బాడీస్ అని పడేస్తున్నారు కదా. సో దాన్ని తీయడానికి కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ చాలా మటుకు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసింది, బట్ అది కూడా ఫెయిల్ అయ్యింది. సో ఇలా గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ కూడా ఫెయిల్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం గవర్నమెంట్లో ఉందంటే గవర్నమెంట్లో లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అది మనలో ఉంది, పీపుల్. ఓకే, అంటే మన మైండ్ సెట్ మారితేనే కదా అందరూ మారేది. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు వేస్ట్ పొల్యూషన్ ఉంటుంది, అది ఎవరు చేస్తున్నాం? మనమే చేస్తున్నాం. గవర్నమెంట్ వచ్చి వేస్ట్ పడేయట్లేదు కదా ఎక్కడన్నా, రైట్? సో అయితే మేము దీని మీద ఫోకస్ చేస్తున్నాం. లైక్ ఇప్పుడు ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్కి ఇప్పుడు కన్సల్టెన్సీ ఆఫీసెస్ ఉన్నాయి. కన్సల్టెన్సీ ఆఫీస్ అంటే ఎలా ఉంటుంది? సంథింగ్ మనకు ఏమైనా జాబ్ రావాలనుకోండి, ఆ తగ్గట్టు ఫీల్డ్లోకి వెళ్తాం, కన్సల్ట్ చేస్తాం. ద సేమ్ వే మేము కూడా అదే చేస్తాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మేము ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ కన్సల్ట్ చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఉంది, గవర్నమెంట్ వేస్ట్ పొల్యూషన్ బాగా ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది, మా దగ్గరికి వచ్చి కన్సల్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో దానికి తగ్గట్టు మేము కొన్ని ఇన్నోవేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేస్తాం. సో అలా మేము ఒక వేస్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అనే ఒక థీమ్ మీద మేము చేసిన ఒక ఇన్నోవేషన్ ప్రాజెక్టే రివార్డ్ బి. అదే మేము ఈ హ్యాకథాన్లో సబ్మిట్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు మాకు రికగ్నైజేషన్ కూడా వచ్చింది. ఓకే, సో అయితే ఈ రివార్డ్ బిన్ ఏ విధంగా పనిచేస్తుంది అంటే జనరల్గా సింప్లీ ఇది వెండింగ్ మిషన్ కింద అనమాట. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక ప్లాస్టిక్ వేసామో అది ఒక చాక్లెట్ ఇస్తుంది, ఈ విధంగా పనిచేస్తుంది. సో మేము ఈ స్టార్ట్అప్ని మా స్కూల్లో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసాం. ఓకే, ఇందాక వాళ్ళు కాంపిటీషన్లో ఎలాగైతే విన్ అయ్యారో మేము కూడా అదే కాంపిటీషన్లో విన్ అయ్యాం. 77th ప్లేస్ మాది. అయితే మేము మా స్కూల్లో ప్లాస్టిక్ కలెక్షన్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తే మాకు హ్యూజ్ సక్సెస్ అయింది అందులో. సో నియర్లీ 1 వీక్లో మేము 6 kgs ప్లాస్టిక్ని మా స్కూల్ నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చాం. సో దాన్ని మేము మా ఆటోనగర్లో ఉన్న ఒక రీసైక్లింగ్ కంపెనీకి కూడా ఇచ్చాం. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అవర్ కంపెనీ.
Thank you. All right, we have a special guest visiting us today, Mr. Devendranath Sankarnarayanan. So I would like to invite him over to the stage. Please come, sir. He's a performance artist, and I met him a few times. I don't know enough about him to give you a nice introduction. There's a lot he can contribute, but I'd like to have him speak for a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, on the role of theatre and performance for startups. We were going to have a session at our hub, but we couldn't find time to coordinate between him and myself. We will schedule it when he's back in Visakhapatnam on his next visit. He lives in Kerala? Yeah. Right? So please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Performance theatre. You might have heard about these words many times in your life, in schools and all, no? Oh.
Hi. I've got only 3 minutes, and there are a lot to talk about theatre and performance. And the word performance we might be using every day in our life, and definitely for business and startups and anything in life. How do you perform in the exam? How do you perform in front of people? How is your performance analysis? And based on that, you will get the kind of incremented all sorts of things. And what is performance is what the main focus might be. We can discuss about. There is a theory, or it defines like this: if you're doing something when someone is watching, that is called performance. In that case, every moment we are doing something and someone will watch you. And here, Madam was talking about the HR problems and the solutions and all those things, in which 80% of the problems are with people. And people and these two sides, we can see people. One is the person who is running the business, or the person who is starting the business, the entrepreneur, and the people who are joining with them. And another point she said, the emotion of people. And when we are doing something, we have to win, we have to overcome, we have to go somewhere. That's where people will have a lot of ideas, people will have a lot of imagination. And how do you put your imagination in real life? And how do you execute your imagination? Or how do you work out your imagination with a group of people? And this is where we connect theatre with this kind of a discussion. Theatre is nothing but, theatre is a very vast subject, but we can define it in this way. A group of people, like-minded people, getting together, talking about something, and you can differ, you can go along with, you can go into discourses, you can go with negotiations, you can do anything. Basically, managing ourselves along with a group, along with a team. So, theatre is a teamwork. And where there is not only one idea will come, there are multiple ideas are coming together, and how do you negotiate with different ideas and ideologies, and how do we come up with a productive output? So, basically, how we manage ourselves and how we manage the other people, I and the other. So, if you can know the language of creating, we can understand what am I? These are the kind of confusions. My confusion was also that I in connection with others. If you can define what am I and what are my possibilities, what are my what all kind of skills I have, the talent I have, and I'm understanding myself. And theatre is a space where we can explore the possibilities of the self, and we can find ourselves and possibilities of me in connection with those who are sitting with me. And that means we go together. That is a team. That is theatre. And I think theatre is ultimately a performance. People will watch it, people will entertain it, people will enjoy it. If you want to enjoy something, there should be some story. And that story is your own story. That story is my life story. And if you can sell, if you can pitch your life story in the best way to the audience, it could be a client, it could be people from, if you're going with a project to a person, if you're presenting the project, that is called presentation. How do you present yourself in front of people whom do you want to present the idea with? So from there we start performance. And every day we are performing because people are watching us. In this moment, you are seeing me, I'm performing. I'm not a performer, but I'm a performance. Your company is a performance, our life is a performance, every moment is performance, and this table is a performance when you are watching it. If this is your product, that will perform by itself. That's called performance. I think we will meet again in the future. There are a lot we can share. I think this is a very, very unexpected moment for me. And I am a co-founder of a theatre group called Whistle Theatre. And we have done a theatre workshop in Vizag for the last 5 days. And my partner, Subini Nair, is also there with me. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to meet you all in this wonderful evening. And I'm coming. Don't prompt me. I'm a performance. And Mr. Diwakar, we have been meeting each other since last a few days because the two kids were there in my workshop. And thank you, Diwakar, for this opportunity and meeting all these budding talents. We hope, we believe this tomorrow is yours, and the kind of ideas they are coming up with, it is exciting. And I was thinking and sitting in the back, when I was in your age, I never thought these things. And now, and now we are meeting each other in this way, and definitely we can share a lot of things, and let us see in the future. Thank you so much for this opportunity once again. Thank you.
fantastic workshop at Book Magic Library. My kids were there. Now my kids know the difference between acting up and acting. So, thank you. We are at the end of our session. So, thank you all for a wonderful session. We hope you enjoyed the session. Here is a way to tell us how we can do this better. Please take the time and answer the short survey while I read out a few announcements. I am sure you can multitask. Please scan the QR code and give us a feedback. It's a very short survey. Please take the time. It is important to us. We continue to improve these sessions based on your feedback. Now to the announcements. Thai women applications are open until June 15th. Women with at least 33% stake in the company, in any company, can compete in this global competition. You will be competing at the chapter level, that is Thai Vizag chapter, and the winner will progress all the way to Thai Global Summit. Those of you who may not know what Thai is an organization of entrepreneurs. It's a non-profit entity with successful entrepreneurs, likes of Elon Musk and others. They are entrepreneurs wanting to give back. They are a bunch of mentors. They mentor younger entrepreneurs or newer entrepreneurs. So this year's Thai Global Summit is at Bengaluru in December. The winner will be mentored to prepare for the finals. The winner of this chapter will be mentored to prepare for the finals. This is a fantastic program to showcase your talent and commitment and learn a lot along the way. We just finished the 4th of our 8 workshop series successfully. Mentors from Alpha Partners and Thai Vizag gave us a lot of material. There was a small group of participants. We limit the participants to improve the depth of engagement. The next one is the last Tuesday and Wednesday of June on marketing and branding. That's what we just finished, right? That's finance. Okay, the next one is on finance. I messed up my notes here. Financial management, the next one. That is in June. It's an 8 workshop series. We are done with 4. The next one is 5th one. Okay, we just finished the 10th HackAP Hackathon on robotics. Some of the participants are here. Guess what? We had 32 teams registered. 11 teams qualified for the finals, and out of those, only 3 teams at the college level. The rest of them are all at high school level. So we are reaching out, and we are reaching the younger generation. The atmosphere was very enthusiastic and a lot of chatter and excitement. Both the winners and runners were engineering students from AU, and school children from Pratibha Vidyalayam won the 3rd prize. Along with the trophy and certificates, winning team were awarded a robot kit sponsored by Ms. Sridevi and Mr. Sunil, owners of Modern Living Furniture. The next HackAP Hackathon is on July 27-28, the last weekend of July. This time the theme will be Space Tech. Mark your calendars, stay tuned to our social media. The announcements will be out soon. Okay, I think that is all the announcements I had. Did I miss anything? The next Startup Saturdays, of course, is June 15th. So we will meet again on June 15th. Please bring your enthusiasm, hunger for knowledge and engagement. We are very happy to see the room full. So thank you all for coming. Let's all gather in front to get a picture. Is there anything I forgot? You like me speaking so much that you don't want to move?
You willing to extend it by 5 minutes? That's a typical Savar question. Never mind.
Please come to the front so we can take pictures together. We just grab it. The more